Hey kids, alright, let's take a look at top box curves. So open up Edgecam, click new milling part. I've already preloaded this piece in here. Let's say this was your design. You got a neat little spline here, and then you decided, hey, I'm going to fillet these edges because it looks cool. That's not going to work because this bottom distance from this corner to the bottom of where that fillet is has to be a minimum of 0.45 inches, and I can guarantee right now it's not because I know the overall height of this is 0.75. So 0.45 should be more than halfway, and that is not more than halfway up that face. So make sure you go back in Inventor and measure that. If that's shorter than that, it's not like, oh well, it's like you're going to mill into the clamp and sparks are going to fly, you'll break the bit. People will be screaming and crying. So don't do that. This one is not going to work. We're going to have to use my other top of curve for this demo. So we're not going to save that one. And so here it is. So I'm going to orient this so that the long ways is this way because I need my CPL in this bottom left corner. Click my stock fixture button. Auto stock should be selected, it usually is, and then go to geometry, create CPL, origin through 3 points. Then we make sure that little blue box shows up for that corner, then the bottom right, then the top left. I'm using the scroll wheel to zoom in so I can find it because that CPL is in the way, and then I'm scrolling out and then I click that. Now my CPL looks great. I'm going along the y-axis, x-axis, and then z-axis straight up. So feature finder, I can click this. It's not going to find anything. It's just going to find the top surface, which is fine. That's what we want. Now we go to manufacture mode. So you should just have one feature. You might have a couple depending on your design. And then click OK as long as it's set ProLight 1000. Now this one is a really kind of cool here. We click parallel lace. And then I'm just going to click the top of the surface. Now if you got a really weird geometry, it might not be that simple, but just give it a try. Click it once, hit enter twice, and now we go into here. So tooling, we want this to make sure that you say optimize. Really important it goes back and forth or you're going to be in the milling room forever. I'm going to set this to 50%. That means that it's going to go 50% of the bit over. I have a 1/4 inch bit, so it's going to go half the width of the bit over for the next pass. That might make sense here in a little bit. I'm going to set my lead radius to 0. I don't believe that I need one. It's going to make it go a little faster. So tooling, I want to be at 40, 20, 5,000 is our maximum. Diameter 0.25, and I'm going to do a corner radius. It's 0.125 because we're going to use a ball mill for this one. And depth is all preset on parallel lace. So I click OK, and then it shows you the path. It just goes back and forth and up and down and makes that. So when we preview this, that's what it's going to do. And you can see these little grooves, this little like kind of wave pattern. If I did a smaller percentage for crossover, there would be less waves. So I'm going to actually show you that. We don't need to see that finished. And I can go into sequence, this little S tab, and I can double click parallel lace, click OK. Now I can edit this. So if I do a percent step over of 25% and click OK, you can see the lines are twice as close together. Then you simulate this thing, and you can see there's less of a wave pattern, so it's going to be cleaner, but you're going to be in there twice as long watching this thing mill. So that's the drawback on getting a super clean print. There's another way that you can get kind of a really cool clean print, so let me close that off. I can do a second parallel lace, so I'm going to click this, click the top, hit enter twice, and this time I'm going to set the angle to, I'm going to set this one to 45 degrees. And everything else is the same, but I'm going to make this I'm going to go do a 40% step over. So you can see I kind of have this cross hatch. I'm going to go back to the first one, and I'm going to make it -45 with a 40% crossover. So now they're at 90 degrees to each other. So I have this little crosshatch intersection. Doesn't have to be 50% crossover or 25. I did 40%. So this shows you what it's going to look like. We're going to fast forward this all the way through. And now it's kind of this cool little crosshatch pattern. You can do whatever you want, whatever looks cool to you. In the end, if I wanted this to be totally smooth, this would probably work, and I just take some sandpaper and just kind of lightly sand the top of it, and it's going to take off these bumps in a real hurry and make it really nice and smooth. So this would be perfectly fine. Let me click the X. And again, if you want to edit them, make sure you're in the Sequence tab, not the Features tab. Just double click them and then click the OK button. And then you can edit the features that you've tried and just try different things. So that should be it for this. To export the code, I just click Generate Code, and I click OK, it already exists, so yes, I'm going to overwrite this, put my name, BT, and we don't want a tool change again, so let's get rid of the first one because we can see that one. But we need to find more, because my guess is if you did 2 parallel lace options, you're going to have another tool change. So let's get rid of these 3 lines like we did in the bottom of the box tutorial. From MO5 to MO3, delete those. I'm going to find next, and it says it can't find anymore. So let's just double check this. And there should only be 2 because I have only 2 operations. So I really don't need to check, but I just wanted to show you there's not going to be any more. If you do 3 parallel lace options, you're going to be in the milling room for a year and a half, but it'll be really clean and cool looking. Make sure you delete 3 of those tool changes. So that should be all we need. We need to click and save this, and then I'll show you how to mill this with the CNC. That's it.